Welcome back to United TV. It's Jules here. I'm going to do a analysis of what went wrong in the game against FC Twente on Wednesday at Old Trafford. 1-1, it was a disappointing result. There were good moments, there were bad moments, but I'm going to go through a couple of familiar mistakes. I'll go through the goals, how the teams lined up in terms of shape, and the reaction to the match. First of all, let's have a look at the Diego Dallo mistake. This is when he lost the ball down near the corner flag. It led to a really good opportunity for Twente and they should have scored. So this comes from a corner kick on the opposite side. Twente played the ball into the box. He ran straight through. I've marked here Diego Dallo, who's favourite to get that ball. And what I'd expect him to do here is either to clear his lines with his left foot or to make a dribble past the player that's going to press him, but again, on his left foot. Certainly don't turn back into trouble. So what we're seeing here is Dallo gets to the ball first, he slows down and he tries to control the ball with his right foot and try and get himself out of the box there with a Cruyff turn. As you can see, the Cruyff turn, the Twente player read the Cruyff turn, he dispossesses Dallo, and all of a sudden we're in trouble. He finds Lama, who manages to skew his shot just wide. It was fractions really. I think it actually skimmed the post. Anana stood no chance, and that could have been 1-0. Again, if Diego Dallo was on his favoured side, on the right hand side, I don't expect that to happen. Okay, so the next talking point that I want to discuss is the Christian Eriksen goal, and what a beauty it was. A great finish from Christian Eriksen. That's 3 goals for the season now, 3 in his last 2 games. Somewhat of a renaissance, some would say. This is on the 35th minute. And this starts with a nice move from Manchester United. I think they did this well in the first half. They played some good football without creating a lot of great opportunities. So we're starting here with Lisandro Martinez, who plays it to the left-hand side into that space where Christian Eriksen is finding space in recent games, where he's coming out to the left-hand side, outside of his starting position. When Eriksen picks up the ball, defenders have been dragged away, and there's a big space here where I've marked, and that's where Eriksen is going to pass the ball into Fernandes, who's calling for the ball. This is the space they've been trying to work in this rotation. When the ball comes into Bruno Fernandes, there's a lot of bodies in front of him, but Diego Dallo has swapped positions with where Christian Eriksen would have been, and he's now going to make a lateral movement to try and find space between the defenders. You'll notice that the midfield and the defence, there's very, very little gap between them. 5-10 yards at the most, so Twente are trying to flood that area and not let us thread this ball through. In the end, Fernandes hits the ball through to Dallo. It's got a lot of pace on the ball. Dallo miscontrols the ball, which leads to a ricochet. But Christian Eriksen's there to pounce. And yeah, there's good fortune in this goal, but we worked the space well, getting the ball to Dallo. And in the end, we created our luck in this one, and Eriksen hit a lovely ball into the top corner, leaving the keeper with absolutely no chance. Okay, Twente equalised then in the second half. This goal is all about desire, complacency, and mistakes. So you'll notice the starting position here of the Twente right back. He's starting down near the corner flag. He's got Marcus Rashford in pursuit, who does well actually to match the attacker's run when he's dribbling with the ball. In the end, he gets muscled off it. You can see there we've got Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen, who are going to be next in line to challenge the player running with the ball. Fernandes makes little effort really. The defender brings the ball past him without any challenge, any physical confrontation whatsoever. But for me, mistake 1 is here. So the defender's got the choice to dribble the ball or try and pass it. What he can't do here is he cannot break this line between Eriksen and Lisandro Martinez. You'll see here, I've marked the two players for us. Martinez is on a yellow card. The reason being he made a ridiculous tackle a few minutes earlier, which led to a spell of pressure. It was absolutely needless. Now he's on a yellow card. He can't bring this player down, otherwise he's going to be off. Therefore, Christian Eriksen has to step across. He has to stop this attacker with the ball, whether that's by fair means, whether that's by foul. If he needs a yellow card, he just needs to take it, and we reset. He cannot let that player through that gap. So for me, that's mistake number one. As we can see, Christian Eriksen doesn't do enough. Martinez, he tries to put a foot in, but pulls out because he knows that if he does that, he's going to be on a red card. What we're seeing here then is the attacking player has got the ball. He's broken past our midfield, which are now out of the game. And we're left with a 3-on-2 situation where there's two attackers ahead of the player with the ball and two defenders for us, which are Dalot and Maguire respectively, who I've highlighted. At the top of your picture you've got Ugarte, who's a bit further behind, but as we'll see in a minute, he does actually get back in position with some good recovery speed. So, the defenders here, Maguire and Dalot, their objective here is to slow the play down, slow this counter-attack. What we don't want to do here is to jump in and make an even further advantage for Twente in terms of numbers. But guess what? This is exactly what happens. Maguire dives in. It's a reckless lunge. He's nowhere near the ball. The defender knocks the ball through his legs, and all of a sudden we're looking at a 3 versus 1 where Dalot is the one. Ugarte is tracking back. He's trying to get back in position. He recognises Maguire steaming in, and his first instinct is to cover him behind. So actually this is good positioning from Ugarte, who spots the danger. And Ugarte wins the tackle. But this is the same player that had the ball down in the corner flag for Twente. He's run 60 yards with the ball, virtually unchallenged. 60 yards through our entire midfield. I've brought up the quote here from Erik ten Hag that he made after the match. He said, "They looked like they wanted it more than us, and that can't be right." And for me, this is what he's talking about. So Ugarte does really well to win the ball back. Now we have Eriksen, who's on the scene to pick up the ball. You can see here Dalot gesturing with his hands. He's saying time or lay it back to me. I don't know which one of the two, but he's trying to gesture something to Eriksen. Eriksen's got plenty of time here, but what he does is he dawdles on the ball. It's a poor mistake from Eriksen, a player of his calibre, a player of his experience should not be making this error. He doesn't check his left shoulder, and he's pickpocketed. And Lammers is through on goal. Dalot by this point is out of the game. Eriksen is out of the game. We're now left with two Twente attackers. Mazraoui on the far side, who's going to do well to get back in position as well. So as we can see here, Lammers is now one-on-one with Onana. Onana's gesturing with his right hand to Mazraoui to say, cover this space, because that defender is, the attacker for Twente is going to have a tap in if Lammers decides to play it across. And while Onana is preoccupied with that situation developing on his right, the striker's bearing down on goal, and Lammers' body shape here, everything about it indicates he's going to put this in the far corner. He's gone with his left foot, he's ran around the ball so that he's got a chance to put the ball into the far corner with his left foot, and you can see his body position. He's angling backwards, he's leaning back. Everything about this body language says that he's going to go for the far corner. Actually, I think this is a terrific finish. He's whipped it back into the near post beyond Onana for a goal. People are going to criticise Onana here. I've seen criticism of Onana. I'll just go back to this. Onana's on the near post. Yes, there's maybe a slight gap, but everything about the body position here is suggesting this is going to go into the far corner. And Onana's probably thinking, okay, he's going to go for the far corner. And then meanwhile, the player who's at the back stick here for Twente is maybe going to look for a tap-in off the keeper. But as I said, it's gone in the near post. It's a great finish. And to be honest, Twente deserved it. They showed the desire there that Erik ten Hag was talking about in his post-match presser. Okay, so I just want to go into a bit of the shape here. So this is kind of the shape we found ourselves in a lot of this match. So contrary to the 4-2-3-1 that maybe we see on the starting lineups, and that we perhaps show when out of possession, when we're in possession, this is something we've seen against Crystal Palace as well. We're reverting to a back three. Martinez, Maguire and Mazraoui form the back three. Dalot then inverts into the midfield and forms a 2 with Ugarte. And Dalot is getting a lot of joy in this match, and also against Crystal Palace. He's finding a lot of space in here for to receive the ball. He's getting a lot of the ball, and he's having some good games at the minute. But we're seeing here, it's a box midfield between Dalot, Ugarte, Eriksen and Fernandes. You've got Xerxes up front. There's not going to be a threat in behind. Rashford is holding some width on the left there. Ahmad is very narrow. And for most of the match, we saw Dalot, Eriksen and Fernandes rotating positions, as we saw for our goal. But it's all a little bit one-dimensional. Without that threat in behind, really, all Twente have to do is kind of flood the central areas and not leave gaps between their midfield and defence. We're not offering them a threat in behind. We're not really getting to the byline with our wide players. So it makes it very difficult. We have to be very intricate with our passes to find the forward players and to create good goal-scoring opportunities. This shows the average position of both teams in the match. As you can see, United are very compact. So the gap between the defence and attack is we're not stretching the game in that manner. We're also very narrow, and you can see that our centre forward, which is Xerxes, is fairly close to Eriksen and Fernandes. So it's all very compact. And as you'll see on the other side with Twente, they've got 5 players there virtually touching each other in the midfield. So there was a clear tactic, that is to flood the midfield, stop that ball getting through. And for them, it was job done. Twente played this game with the approach that they'll be difficult to break down and try and nick a goal on the counter, with some desire that they showed in their goal. And to be honest, it was a perfect away performance from Twente, particularly when you factor in they've come to Old Trafford for the first time. They were heavy underdogs for this game, but I would say that they got this tactically spot on. Okay, if you've liked this video, please share, comment, also switch on the notifications as well so you know when the next video is coming. Thank you very much for watching.